All right, we just got done with this farm, but I've relegated myself to looking for a missing planter part on this entire farm. Now, I'm not going to be walking up and down every row here because there's no need in that. We're going to use a little bit of detective work to try and determine where exactly it went missing at. Well, I don't guess I need to quit my day job as a farmer and go be a detective because apparently my detective skills are crap. I've already determined that part's not over on that side of the field, so it's got to be on this half of the field. But anyway, what we're looking for, one of my notch closing discs right here just came off. I don't know if it just came loose, or bolt broke, or what, but anyway. Now, I'm not going to be walking up and down every row here because there's no need in that. We're going to use a little bit of detective work to try and determine where exactly it went missing at. Anyway, I don't know if y'all can tell, but right here is the dividing line between my passes. I was going this way on this pass and then coming this way on this pass. You can see which way the cover crop was being rode. So here's my number one unit where it's missing on, going that way, and then turning around, coming back. Here's my number one unit coming back this way. And anyway, looking here at the seed trench, you see these notches, indentions, this line kind of right here, that's that closing disc squeezing it back. Well, we don't see it on this side, which is the missing side. So it was definitely missing at this point. So that closing wheel is definitely somewhere between where we're at right here and then kind of that swell. That's where I started the field and was working this way forward. So it's somewhere in this little block of land. So we'll walk through here and examine the number one rows, see where I start seeing the sign where it was on there, and then we'll walk down that road. We ought to find it. All right, looks like I'm not going to have to go far. Here's the indentions. Now here's the indentions on this side. It's not on this side, but I determined on this number one row going this way that it looks like both of them's on there then. So it's got to be somewhere from here to the end, or on this road from the end back up to this point. Hey guys, Future Matt here. Just wanted to break into this show real quickly to let y'all know of an important update. Back in our soybean planting video, I alluded to the fact that I was filming for a very big, very popular YouTube channel, an episode for them. But anyway, due to contractual obligations, I was not allowed to share anything about it on social media. Well, good news guys, the video actually dropped today. So it's available for all y'all to view. But anyway, I filmed an episode for Wired, which is a huge channel that's got some like 12.2 million subscribers. And anyway, I filmed an article for their tech support series about agriculture and answering a lot of the public's questions about agriculture. So it's about 25 minutes long, and y'all be sure to go check it out. I'll post a tag to it up here in the corner. I'll also put a link to it in the description down below. So y'all please be sure to support this video. Let's get the views up on it. And who knows, maybe they'll approach me about doing a part 2. But not only do y'all watch the video, I encourage you to go to the comment section. There's a lot of great comments there, but there's also a lot from the other half of the population. The comment section is golden. I got a lot of good chuckles out of it. So anyway guys, just wanted to let y'all know about that. Now I'm going to send you back to present Matt. All right, my ability to read tea leaves apparently is not as good as I thought. But I now determined that it came off somewhere here on these end rows. So we just walking. All right, I'm getting closer. Here's my seed trench. So here's the closing wheel disc right here, and it was still on at this point. You see how the seed trench goes this way, but then the closing wheel track goes that way. So that means it was wobbling real bad. It was loose. So we're getting close. Well, I don't guess I need to quit my day job as a farmer and go be a detective because apparently my detective skills are crap. Tractor's up there. I mean, we walk in rows all the way all the way down here and back, and no sign of it so far. So we're gonna finish walking back up here to the tractor. If I don't see it then, say the heck with it, go back to planting, quit wasting time, and just come out here with my side by side later when we get rained out or something. It's still doing a decent enough job closing the trench, so we're gonna roll on. All right, walked all the inroads, no luck, and I started coming back this way from where I started on the straight rows, and I started recognizing the pattern. Here's my seed trench right here. There's the closing wheel that's still on good, and you see this one way out here, that's that one that was loose. So it was still on right here. So I'm gonna keep walking across the field towards the planter until I see where this disappears, and then we ought to find it. See, I've been looking right here close and haven't been seeing a sign, and I thought this was maybe the road cleaner mark, but nope, this is the closing wheel that was still on, but it was loose and spread way out. So my hope is renewed now. All right, I think maybe I'm on to something here. Here's the seed trench. Then you can see this line right here. It's still on there then, but then coming back the other way, seed trench, one closing wheel mark, but then there's nothing out here on this end. So it's either on this row or this row going back that way. Oh! Well, won't you looky there? Maybe my detective skills ain't as bad as I thought they was. Just got to look for the right clues. Look at that, even still got the spacers on and everything. Just don't see a nut anywhere. I got my steps in today. It's not overly hot out there, but it sure is humid. Ooh. That's almost as good as an ice cold beer right there.
Welcome to Cotton Planting 2025, just a little late. Mia and I are out here spraying this field. Wanted to show you just how tall the cover crops have gotten because you can't even see the ditch. So I'm having to spray it this way instead of going down normal way. That is probably as deep as tall as I am. I'm trying not to get out because I am allergic to this stuff. I have taken my medicine, but the boys are still over on Williams, so I'm just doing this block right here. We're spraying one load of Gramoxin, and then I'm gonna wait and then come back with Warren. So yeah, it's just boring, me spraying and waiting. Typical cotton planting. She thinks it's boring too. So this whole 72 acre block is almost done. I've got 2 passes left over there. Matt said go ahead and spray the whole 105, which means he's probably going to get done with this tonight, although it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't know how he's going to get 100 acres done, but he might try. My passenger princess and I are filling up. I've taught her how to get down the stairs so far, but she won't do it if the sprayer's on. She will only do it if the sprayer's off. So we're gonna fill up and we're gonna try and head to the house here in a little bit. Are you gonna show everybody how you can do it? Come on, you can do it. Good girl. You can do it. Good girl. All right, here we go. Next one. Come on, you can do it. Come on. Come on, you can. I got you. Oh, I might have to help her now. Well, there we go. I think she's got it. All right, come on. There you go. There you go. You almost got it. Oh, you got it. Good job. See, I'm a smart dog. I'm learning. She's learning. And my other teammate showed up. Looks like it's rolling-legged champ. And all the blades are still on there. So winner, winner, chicken dinner. Are you checking it out, boss? Ooh! That has turned into a thunderstorm. What are you? She's could chase him. Yeah, come on, let's go before we get struck by lightning. Come on.
All right, we got over here clean, got started good. I'm gonna go out here and check my depths because we are dealing with an absolute jungle out here. My burn down strips failed, and I knew I should have come back over here with a hooded sprayer when I saw I wasn't getting a good kill. But basically what we did is we stunted a lot in the row, but as you can tell, you can't tell where my rows are. So we got a lot of material we're having to cut through and trying to place that seed just as shallow as possible. But I'm gonna check to see if I'm actually getting them in the ground or not. All right, we're running about 60 PSI here on my row cleaners down for us, just trying to force them to the ground, make them dig through that cover crop and move it to the side as much as possible. But still we got a lot of vegetation to move out of the way. All right, there's our seed trench there. Well, there's one seed right there that's on top of the ground. But for the most part, through here, through this thickest part, looks like they're all in the ground. Now what I could do is I could set my depths deeper, and what that does, that makes the seed trench wider, so it gives more of an area for the seed to fall in. When we're planting as shallow as we are, a ½ inch deep, you know, that seed trench is real narrow. That's just the nature of the double disc openers. But the problem I've faced in the past is trying to make sure I get every single seed in the ground. I'm planting them a little deeper than I want to, and then they struggle coming up. So even though we got, I mean, a small, just handful of seeds scattered down through this row, you know, we're planting 37,000. I'm probably getting 34, 35,000 in the ground. We get 80% germination, which is what's on the bag. You know, we'll have plenty of cotton out here. And I like my chances with the forecast we got coming up with potentially some severe weather. I like my chances better with having 34,000 in the ground planted real shallow than I do 37,000 in the ground with it planted deeper. You know, that's what I've done in the past, and we wound up with seed rot and not coming up, having to replant. So I swore to myself this year, I'm gonna put them shallow, even if that means leaving just a small handful of seeds on top of the ground. I'm gonna put them shallow. The thing is, if we get plenty of rain, even that seed that's on top of the ground, it's under the cover crop. It'll stay moist, and there's a good chance it'll germinate anyway. So it's not like it's a complete waste. Let me check another spot here. It's pretty dang thick. We got some balanza, clump of balanza clover here. And look, I mean, it sliced right through it. There's one on top of the ground. There's another one right there that's not down in the soil. So yeah, I think we're gonna be fine. I do honestly think ultimately, based on past experience, I'm gonna get a better stand this way than I have been doing it in the past, you know, getting them 3/4 to 1 inch deep, but getting them all in the ground. You know, it's not all that bad. I mean, you look right down through here. I mean, row cleaners did a great job of scooting that stuff away. There's no seeds laying up there, or that row, or this row, this one, this one. You know, looking down through there, it's just where we had really thick clumps of balanza clovers where it looks like it's giving me the fits. I know a lot of y'all probably saying, why do I even mess with trying to plant in this jungle? I mean, what's the point? You know, burn it off in March, plant into it no-till, easy peasy. Well, you wouldn't be wrong. It would definitely be a whole lot easier. But the whole part about planting green into this kind of biomass, the hardest part of the entire year is getting it planted and getting a stand. But after that, the rest of the growing season, if you can get that stand, is gravy. I mean, you talk about weed control, I'm not gonna have any weeds out here. And you know, one of our biggest problems is Palmer amaranth pigweeds. Ain't no pigweeds coming up through this. I mean, do you see any sunlight potentially hitting the ground right here? You know, this is gonna give us dang near season-long weed control. You know, lowering our costs, not having to, you know, spray near as many of these expensive herbicides, and having a lot cleaner fields and everything else. We're getting June, July, and August, when it's so freaking hot and dry, you think any moisture is going to be evaporating out from the ground through this cover crop? No, the only way moisture is leaving this soil right here is if it's going through the cotton plant. If it's going through the cotton plant, well, then it's bringing nutrients and everything else the cotton needs to grow. So we're going to retain soil moisture. And then a lot of people don't think about soil temperature. You know, we get them hot 95, 100-degree days when the noontime sun is beating straight down on that ground. If you don't have anything shading the soil, soil gets hot. Your microbial activity decreases. That means your plant activity decreases. You know, plants' roots, they don't like to bake in hot soil. So this is going to help keep that soil temperature, you know, somewhere between 85, 90 degrees, which will be just fine rather than those 95 to 110-degree temperatures you could see in no-till when you don't have anything shading the soil. So yeah, it's a pain in the rear planting this, and I probably have to do more replanting than the average cotton farmer, but when I can get a stand, the rest of the season is gravy. It makes it all worthwhile. All right, I just about caught up with well, I didn't catch up with Andy. That's actually Carter on the roller crimper. He got out of school and he likes to run the roller crimper, wanted to do it, so him and Andy worked out a deal where Andy go home and he can come out here and run it tonight. So apparently Andy forgot to fill that tractor up with fuel, so Carter had to catch a ride home to get the service truck, bring it back out here. So that took a while, and that's why I just about caught up with him. We got about 25 acres done on this farm so far. I got about another 25 acres to go before I'm out of seed today. Hope I can make it. My old stomach's starting to growl a little bit. I need to kick my speed on up here a little bit. Carter done gotten the hang of that crimper. He's rolling on, pulling away from me. How fast you running?
10 to 11, depending on the bumps.
Well, be sure to tell Andy he can run that fast tomorrow too. I'm running 6. He's definitely catching up and passing me. Yeah, he's running every bit 11 miles an hour. God dang, I shouldn't have opened that window. I got all kinds of bugs in here now. Alright, that right there is going to be Carter's last pass of the day. I'll cover right at 46 acres, so theoretically I got about 4 acres of seed left in my hoppers, and that'll give me about wherever he's at. And then we ought to be set up real nice to plant test plots first thing in the morning. So I'm going to make these last couple rounds and see you back here in the morning. Man, these University of Tennessee guys have got this plot planting down to an exact science. I've only got time to watch like 2 TikToks before they done got me vacuumed out and loaded up and ready to plant the next one. In total, we're going to be planting in, I believe it's 19 different plots, different varieties this year, and it's a mixed technology plot. It's got both Extend Flex and Enlist cotton varieties in it, and the reason I can do that and most other people can't put in a plot like that is because I don't use either Enlist or Extend. Of course, nobody's using Extend this year because it's not commercially available for sale because the label got rejected on it. And I was thinking about just doing just the Enlist plot, but after talking with a cotton specialist, it looks like going forward, a lot of these manufacturers are still going to be putting out the Extend Flex lineup just because the yields that they got on those varieties are so high. So even though you can't use Extend anymore, and probably won't be able to in the future, they're still going to be offering those varieties, you know, strictly based on yields. So like I said, I don't care if we can spray Extend or not. I'm not going to use it anyway. But we're going to keep on testing those varieties because if they got the stronger yield potential, well, I need to see that on my ground. So, but anyway, we're having to put in 6-row plots. I was wanting to do 12-row plots, but we just don't have the room. I mean, if we were to do 19 separate passes here, I mean, we just don't have enough room to fit all of them in. So we're having to do, you know, basically 10 passes with 6-row plots each. And if we were to do 12 row plots, I mean, when you got 19 38 feet passes, you're talking about a wide area of land there. And ideally, you know, that would be best for me, because I could make close to a full-size module with our picker with 12 row plots, and it would minimize any extra costs that I've got in wrap for those modules, because that wrap's pretty dang expensive. And if I'm having to do 6 row plots and having to make small mini modules, you know, it's still putting the same amount of wrap on a module, but it's costing me a lot more, you know, per bale of cotton in that wrap. You know, kind of got an issue with these companies. You know, they want us to put in plots and stuff, but they're not, you know, considering the fact how much extra it's costing the producer to put in these plots with the cost of wrap and everything. And they say, well, you're getting the seed for free, you know, that's worth, you know, $100 an acre. I mean, if I'm planting a high yielding variety, yeah, it is, but I'm planting 19 plots. One of those is going to be the best of the lot and the highest yielding, and I'm going to be making good money on it with free seed. But on the other end of the plots, you know, you're going to have some really low yielders in there that's going to actually be costing me money over what, you know, I could have been planting. You know, free seed isn't free all the time, because, you know, you got the yield to consider in there too, and some of these are going to be low yielding varieties. So any manufacturers that's watching out here, you know, for the cotton producers that are, you know, putting in plots for you, you know, it'd be nice if y'all would kick a little bit of money back our way to help cover the increased cost of the wrap. Because, I mean, if I did have enough room, I could put in 12 row plots and minimize my wrap costs. But as you go across the field, the soil's probably not going to be uniform, so you're not going to get maybe good, accurate comparison results on comparing varieties when you're putting it over a lot wider area. The more tighter, concise area you can put it in, the more reliable your results are going to be. We'll get good data off of this. If it comes up to a good stand, we'll get good data off of it. But it's going to be a pain in the butt in harvest, because we're going to have a lot of mini modules out here. It's going to cost a whole lot to wrap.
Welcome to doggy daycare. She got up at 5 a.m. this morning, so she's tired. I have sprayed out the last of the tank that I had yesterday from Clanton Farm. I have to take the 2500 with the seed over to Clanton, help Matt fill up, and then I have to leave the truck there. I have to bring the water truck back here. I have to fill up this sprayer. I have to spray 36 more acres. The wind will probably die down later this afternoon. And then take the water truck back to Clanton. Take that truck back here. Pick up the sprayer. Take the sprayer back out to Clanton. And then spray 105 acres. It's absolute chaos during cotton. So we're spraying paraquat first, and then I'm coming back second pass with Warrant after Matt has planted and Andy has rolled. So hopefully that will help with the weed situation this summer. Thumbs up. It's been a really, really wet spring, and now we're supposed to have severe storms again tomorrow, and the possibility of it raining probably this weekend. So yes, I'm very grateful that Matt waited, because last week was really cold, but at the same time it's like we're getting really, really close to where you can't plant cotton anymore with insurance not covering it, which I think is absolutely stupid and asinine. But we are literally controlled by everyone else, and no one cares about Mother Nature. So we're just trying to do our part and get everything in. I have a lot of friends that are just so behind, like months behind. It will not stop raining. But I don't know if this is a, like, are we going to have a really, really wet spring and summer, and then we're just gonna have the worst dry fall ever? You just don't know in these years. I know that the Midwest is hurting for rain. We would love to share. I would love to share the rain, but it doesn't look like that's happening. So you can only do what you can do. take one day at a time and just be very grateful that we did get a couple days in. So now we just have to hope and pray that the cotton comes up and bugs don't get it and all that fun stuff. So as I like to say, crazy season begins. So we're gonna go take the truck out and go fill up Matt with some more seed. Me and I have successfully done trip number 2. Apparently I forgot that we were doing test plots this morning, so I'm leaving the truck. I'm taking, somebody also thinks she's big and bad and wants to bark at everybody today. Yeah, you think you big and bad? You ain't big and bad? You trying to be. They're rolling along nicely. That's what the cover crop looks like after it's rolled. It's pretty. Oh, good Lord. All right, my partner in crime and I are filled up, ready to go. And after I finish this last farm, we're gonna come back here, take this back over to the farm that the boys are on, and then I have to come back here, grab her, and then start spraying again. So this is trip number 3.
Well, we made it up here to the middle field on Clanton, and see that dirt up there? That's where that grove of trees was that I cleared off. And look at this, just a nice straight pass. No having to go around a grove of trees or anything anymore. Man, that's so much nicer right there. I tell y'all what, it's the little things in life sometimes. It really is, just the little things. Well guys, I got some good news for you. Finally got the release date of that TV show we're going to be on, Farms of America. The series is supposed to premiere, I think, on May 20th.